Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this next installment of the Chamber of Commerce Member Interview Studio Sessions. Joining us today is Andy Morseberger of Minuteman Press. Hello, Andy. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Glad to be here. Glad to be a part of this chamber.
Andy is a great supporter of our chamber. He is also one of our newer board of director members this year for 2021. So we are grateful to have Andy around. We're going to use this opportunity to get to know him a little better with some of our hard-hitting questions. And we'll have a little time at the end for Andy to speak a little about his business. So first off, Andy, having you in the hot seat today, what is it that first got you into the world of printing and marketing?
So I've always worked with my family. Growing up, my mother and I always worked together. My dad's been a career defense contractor, so my mother always wanted jobs that she could work with the family, and while my dad had his career. And back in 2006, Minuteman Press was recruiting in this area. At the time, we were running a pet sitting business, but it was taking its toll on my mother because she really wasn't able to hire. Especially at that time, it wasn't an industry that was easy to hire for. And so there was a Minuteman Press existing store 10 minutes from my parents' house in Davidsonville. We got into Minuteman through that, and I've been doing it ever since. The end of this month is our 15th year.
Well,
the end of our 15th year, start of our 16th.
That's great. A great time to be around. And especially right now, it's definitely an interesting time for printing and marketing because people need those products right now, as you know.
Absolutely.
And what is it that you love most about your field of work?
It's a few things. I don't know if I can limit just one. One, I really like helping people. And not just helping people from behind the scenes. I like to engage with people. I like to get to know people. I like to help motivate people and share my experience and learn from them as well. And the cool thing about the printing market these days is they're the most successful printers, the most valued printers in the community are the ones that are going out, doing the one-on-ones, attending and sponsoring events, and really getting to know people in the community and looking for opportunities to partner and help and raise everybody's stock, raise everybody's business at the same time. And I really just enjoy that I have a job where I stay current with the community and I get to know people, and I'm constantly building and enhancing a network and being able to share that network with others as a key part of my day-to-day job.
And you're great at that because ever since I've known you this last year, you've been such a connector and so helpful with networking opportunities for our chamber and me personally. So it's you really are great at that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And has there been a favorite moment in your career so far?
Oh, the several favorites. I mean, there's several cool projects I've worked on. A few years back, Defense and Veterans, which is a subset of the Walter Reed Army Medical Center back before they moved out of DC, was doing a major conference back when they were starting to really focus on traumatic brain injury for returning soldiers from the Middle East wars. And for 2 years, we helped them with their convention. We helped them get the stuff off the ground, did a bunch of their collateral, their books and stuff, and really helped customize the material for the different presentations. And also, I did also get to get a tour of part of the old Walter Reed Army Medical Center, which was very, very cool. We've also helped. We had one customer that does mystery box kits that we helped get off the ground, and just that job taught me so much about different things you could do. Like we did pieces that look like they wanted a piece that looked like it was torn out of a newspaper. So I found newsprint that's usually used to wrap sandwiches, printed on it, and was able to make a die cut that looked like someone had, rough cut it out of a newspaper. And they had a matching piece that looked like it was rough cut out of a magazine. So they also had ink that was temperature sensitive. You put your finger on it, it became invisible, and you could see what was underneath. So jobs like that, projects like that, where people bring me a unique request or have a major project that they want help managing and really bringing to fruition, those are always highlights of what I do.
That's really interesting, and what experiences too. How about any interesting or funny experiences, or maybe any print jobs that have been interesting over the years? I mean, that is obviously one.
Sure. So I've had some very interesting things. So there was one time we were helping a company. Unfortunately, they had the founder actually tragically died early in the middle of getting this off the ground. But one of the most interesting projects was he was starting a foundation called Not Forgotten out of the Howard County Incubation Center. And the goal was he was trying to help people with loved ones incarcerated in Maryland, other states, be able to send little picture postcards to their loved ones so that people in jail would not be forgotten, to help give them a reason to reform and give them something to look forward to coming out so they wouldn't be immediately drawn back to gangs or their groups or whatever got them in trouble in the first place. And also to help the people who are missing their loved ones stay in contact and also not drift away. Like I said, unfortunately, I don't know exactly what happened, but I found out that he died. But that was a really complex project, all the variable stuff, and helping him and learning about that, and also just learning about what it's like for people in those situations is very interesting. It was educational, and it was a really cool project. We've also, I mean, we've had plenty of funny events, helping people with events, last minute stuff. People, it's funny looking back, but in the moment, it's like that rush to problem solve. Someone realizes that the night before their wedding or funeral that there's a name misspelled or someone was left off, and rushing to get that done to make sure that the event goes off, or having to game plan when someone's sign didn't come out right and they needed it for the next morning. To me, those kind of challenges are always fun and exciting. And what makes it really interesting and fun for me is just seeing how the customer goes from being panicked and upset or concerned to just seeing the finished product, and then being able to enjoy whatever they're trying to do, the event, the venue, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. Now, moving on to some of our more Actors Studio questions to get to know you as well. Do you have a favorite word or saying that you like to live by or encourage in your life?
I have both. So since the first question is favorite word, my favorite word, and the word when people ask me to describe myself or my vision in one word, is authenticity. I very much pride myself being genuine, on being honest, and on really trying to develop those trusting relationships. I'm not just there to make a sale. I'm not just there to pitch and run. I'm not just there to get the one job and run. I'm there to really get to know people. And this connects very much to a phrase I've heard. I don't know where it first came from. Do not at all take credit for it, but it's something I live by, which is be the change you want to see. The world is not going to change the way you want it unless you participate. And even if by some amazing thing it does, even if it changes in the direction you want it to go, it'll be on other people's terms. Right. So I'm a strong believer, whether it be you're in your own business, in your community, in the chamber, if you want to see something change, if you want to see a certain type of event, if you're unhappy with the direction something's going, you need to step up and be the change. And I honestly wish a lot more of our leaders embrace this. I think it's a big problem right now that we have with leadership in certain areas, where so many people spend their time complaining and blaming instead of stepping up and saying, this needs to change, and I'm going to be the leader or a leader in changing for the better.
That's great. That's a good thing for everyone to take away with too today. It's very important. Now, a couple other questions we have in regards to your career and when it had started, but what profession other than your own would you like to attempt or would have liked to attempt at some point?
So I've always been very interested in public service. I have the utmost respect for all in the first responder, medical, law enforcement fields. I have many friends who are active duty military, volunteer career firemen, police officers, and I always said if I was going to do if I was going to be an entrepreneur, if I was going to work in an environment, I would want to do some kind of that public service job. I've also been very interested in politics, more for how people can get involved in change versus the whole party bickering stuff. I get very disappointed by that, and I wish more people, when were able to not only go in for the right reasons, but were to keep the right reasons. So that absolutely the public service stuff.
That's great. I didn't know that about you, and that's very interesting. Very good answer. And then I guess the most important question that we ask here on these interviews is, what is the one business lesson that you wish you would have known prior to starting your career?
So I can actually sum this up in another phrase that I through experience I've learned, and I try to live every day and teach others, is seek wise counsel always, or always seek wise counsel. In other words, all, always make networking a cornerstone of whatever you're trying to do in life, whether that's building your personal brand, your business, changing the community in it for whatever direction you want to do, or even if you want to just be, even if you're the type that just worries a lot and wants to feel more secure in your daily life, going out and seeking the experience of others in networking and in whatever areas that the experts you're looking for dwell, is absolutely in my opinion, the key to success in any part of your life.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love that. And a good lesson to live by for sure in many aspects of your life. That's good. Well, thank you, Andy, for joining us today. We will provide Andy's information about Minuteman Press. So if you have anything that you need to get printed for an event or for your company, definitely he comes highly recommended, and we hope that you'll be in touch.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity. And I'm very excited to serve on the board this year and beyond.
Well, thank you, Andy. We appreciate your service and look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.